Before we install the machine, we must understand the spare parts name and also the function for each spare parts. Please do not operate this machine before you not fully understand each spare parts and the user manual and the video. So at the front, we can see this is the table. This is a flatbed table. It's used for put the material on the surface of the table. And also the table have the vacuum absorption, the hole at each position, and also have the margin position, and also the ruler mark, the size mark for the X and Y axis. So the table can be moved up and down. Then here is 4 legs. 2 legs at the front and 2 legs at the right, at the back. We must make sure all the legs is fastened well without shaking for safety. Also the table can be moved forward and backward, up and down. Then we go to the right side. We can see here is the control panel. This is the screen to show the printing status. And also it's for up. Move the flatbed up, move up. This is the down button to move the flatbed coming down. And it also can be controlled by the computer. So computer or manually, we can choose one method for controlment. And it's the vacuum switch. When we push down, then the vacuum will be working to get the absorption, to suck the material without bend the print head. And this for the repeat print. When we print 100 pieces, the same image, print for cycle printing. When we push down, then the printer will automatically print 1 times and then print another times automatically. And this is for some setting for quality, for cleaning, for pause, cancel, for another check, and for origin setting. This also can be controlled by the computer. And this is for left, move the carriage to left. And this for right, we can move the carriage back to home position. This for backward, to move the table to backwards. And this is the feed. Feed is for control the table to front. So this is the control panel for the machine. And this is the emergency button switch. When we push down the button, then the machine will cut down the power of X motor and Y motor. If we want to get back to work, we must release the block things from the table or from the carriage. Then we lower by this angle position. We lower it and we can pull out. Then we can release the machine, reboot the machine. So push down for emergency using and take out rotary and take out for continue to work. So this is the emergency button for the machine. And also at the middle here, there's a knob. We push by one side, we can take out the handle. We can take up the acrylic cover. So when we open the cover, we can see they have lots of spare parts here. First is the belt. This is the belt to control the carriage moving. And this is the bigger 20 millimeter width, the linear rail, high-beam linear rail, high configuration to guide the carriage moving X to left and to right. This is the table. And here is the the absorption vacuum cable. And this is the carriage. We called all of this for carriage. At this inside is the carriage board, electronic board. And inside is the printing head, 3 printing heads, and the ink damper. And also here is the UV lamp. We have 3 UV lamps at the left and at the right. 1 for left and 2 for right. And here is anti-inclusion metal to prevent some material hit the print head. So if anything to scratch it, then the carriage will stop to move to protect the print head. We have 2 pieces at the left and right side. So this is the carriage. So also when the first time you get the machine you can see the belt is got tapped to protect the carriage moving during delivery. So once you get the machine, you need to cut down the carriage, cut down the belt, the tap at the belt to release the carriage. If you not cut down this tape, then you power on the machine, it will short the motor. So please remember, we must find the tape and we cut it, and then we go the next step. So this is the carriage. And when we move out the carriage from the home position, later we will see they have also have some spare parts at the home position. At the bottom of the carriage is the cap station with 3 caps and also the wrapper. Later, Master B will teach you step by step. 说完了吗？没有。And also at the top, we can see here, this is the in-coat film. This is transparent material. It's transparent. We cannot touch by finger or we scratch by the tools. We must keep the in-coat film clean and without scratched. The in-coat film must be kept at the middle of the in-coat sensor at the backside of the carriage. The sensor like this is the sensor must keep, the film must keep at the middle of the sensor. At both left side, left, right, and back, and back side, and front side, and top side. Any position we cannot touch the film. Just means we must keep the film without touch anything. If the film, the in-coat film touch something, then we are easy to get scratched. Then we will print, we get some error. So this is the in-coat film. And also have in-coat sensor, the home limit sensor at the back side of the carriage. Later, when we move out the carriage, we will see all the spare parts inside. And also this is the ink tank, the tank trunk. Inside have some ink tuber, the water tuber, and some cables connect from the main board to the carriage. And here we can also use the optic cable to transit the printed data from the main board to the carriage board. So all of this is the x-axis and the carriage and the cap station. Also, you will get the UV control box, go with the printer. And this is the UV control box. The top is the water tank cover. Here is used for filter the water inside for water circulation to get the temperature, to reduce the temperature of the UV lamp. And this is the general power switch for power off and power on. And here is the digital screen to show the temperature of the UV control box. And here is the UV lamp adjust knob. This for the bigger lamp for white and color. And this for varnish UV lamp using. Normally we keep the top bigger UV lamp, we adjust it to 40 to 50 degree about. And the varnish we keep about 20 to 30 about, not too big, because we must get the varnish have the crystal result. So we cannot make the varnish UV lamp too strong. A little bit, make sure it can be lit on but not too strong. So this is the bigger UV lamp used for curing the white ink and color ink. And this is the small UV lamp used for curing the varnish ink. When we go to the back side, here have also some connectors. This for the white ink circulation input. The plug is for water circulation. It's for output. So the water circulation by this way to come out, then go to the three UV lamp, then go back to the ink tank. So this is the water circulation tuber, and this is the general power cable. When we go to here, we can also find 3 different cables. This is the signal cable that connect from the main board to send the data to the control box. And here is the power cable for the bigger UV lamp. UV1 and UV2 is for the power cable for the varnish. So each cable, they have a mark named UV2. 2 with 2. We connect 2 with 2. And here have a small pins. So we connect inside, put inside, and then we lock the screw. So UV2 with UV2, and UV1 with UV1, and a small port go with small port to fasten it. So we must connect the tubers, 2 tubers, and 3 cable when we got the control box. When we go to the right side of the printer, we can see they have some buttons and with the light. So the first is alarm on/off switch. When we push down, then when the ink is lack of ink, then the sounds, the beep sounds will come out, and also light will be on. So if you use the machine at night, then you don't want the alarm sounds coming out, so you can click off. So normally we must keep it on. On is when you come out is open. We push down is off. So this is used for the ink level sensor alarm switch, and this is for white ink circulation. For the UV we not use the white ink circulation. This is only used for when you print with the DTF ink or the pigment ink for DTG ink. So for UV ink, we not use the white ink circulation. And here is KCMY, LCOM, white and varnish. The ink detect the light. So if the ink bottle inside, the ink is running out, it's empty, then the light will be on to let you refill the ink to the ink tank. So this is the ink level sensor light for each color. When we go to the right side, we can also see this is the ink tank for each color. The ink tank is 500 milliliter for each color. From the left to right is black, cyan, magenta, yellow, light cyan, light magenta, white, and varnish. So if you put the printing head, if the machine combined with Epson 3200 printing head, so these 2 ink tank no need to fill, keep empty. LCLM will not fill ink. We just fill ink with KCMY, white and varnish, because the Epson 3200 print head is only have 4 channels for each print head. So remember, just fill KCMY, white and varnish for Epson 3200 print head. And if your machine combined with Epson F1080 print head, so you can fill light cyan, light magenta. So the color is dependent on which print head you're using. So this is the ink tank for each color. Please do not fill wrong ink, otherwise we'll get wrong printing result. Okay, then we go to the right side, the bottom position. We can also find there's the cover. We push down the knob, we can take out the cover. So inside we can see there's the ink supply system. First is the waste ink tank. Here have ink level sensor and alarm board at top. And also here have the waste ink release tuber. So this is used for when the waste ink bottle, the ink is full, we use it for release. They also have a switch here. This way is for open, and this way is for close. Then here have three the separation, the cleaning pump for white, for color, for varnish, for each color. And but here is the cap station. Here is the cap station belt. Can be moved up and down. Inside is the cap station limit sensor. And this is the up-down motion motor. And this is the motor driver for up-down motion. It's power supply box. And Here is the relay for the vacuum, and the motion ball screw for drive the table moving up and down, lift at the right and lift at the left, 2 at the left and 2 at the right. And here is the general power filter. So here is some power almost used for some the ink supply system using. When we go to the left side of the machine, they also have a cover. Also, we can take out the cover by push down the knob, the switch. We can take out the metal. Here inside is the electronic control system for the machine. Here is the power supply box for different voltage. So here is the power voltage for 24 voltage power supply box. And here is the power supply box for 42 voltage. This is the power supply box. And here is the down limit sensor. When the table moving down and the sensor get detected by the metal here, then the table starts to moving down to prevent its move out of position. And here is the mainboard for the printer. And this is the fabric optical cable connect from here to the carriage board. The motor cable for X motor, Y motor, and for Z motor. And here is for the motor signal cable for the cap station moving up and down. This is the Ethernet cable port connect from here to the computer for printing. And this cable is for connect from here to the control panel at the front to control the printer. And here are some sensors. The cap station limit sensor and the Z limit sensor, or the limit sensor for Y original and Y back limit sensor for each. And here is the power supply cable, and here is the UV lamp and pumps cable here. So this is the main board for the printer, and here is the connection tools to transit the cable connection, and also have 2 bore screw at the right, same as at the left, to drive the table moving up and down. So this is all the control system for the printer. When we go to the back side of the machine, we can see here is a general power port. And here we mark this is the printer label to show the model and the voltage and the serial number here. And also, when you connect the power to the machine, you must be sure the machine is built with 220 voltage or 110 voltage. Please do not connect with wrong power to the machine. Otherwise, we'll short the machine. So if you bought the machine with 110 voltage, you need to got the converter from focus, then connect the power to the printer. Please do not give wrong power to the machine. It's very important. So at the top of the power port, there's a switch. This is the power switch. We will keep it to 0. We will power on the machine. 0 is for power off the machine, and 1 is for power on the machine. So this is a switch, general power switch for the total printer. And here is some tubers, the water circulation tube for UV lamp, and 2 cables, two gray cables for the power cable for the UV lamp, and the Ethernet cable to connect with the computer, and the signal cable from the main board to connect to the EV control box. There's some cables for connection.